Hello viewers and welcome to Science TV News. You are with me, Catherine NGOVI, with my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Tobias Omondi. On to the news. On our first item, Busia Senator Omtatah has challenged President William Ruto to provide concrete evidence of judicial bribery in cases related to the Affordable Housing Levy and Social Insurance Fund. Omtatah, directly involved in one of these cases, vehemently denies any wrongdoing and claims no knowledge of bribery attempts by any fellow litigant. While acknowledging President William Ruto's rights to express his concerns, Omtatah urged him to leverage his intelligence resources and expose actual corruption within the judiciary.
Has made are grave and strike at the heart of Kenya's constitutional order, because judicial independence, upon which the rule of law rests, requires judges not to be subject to pressure and influence, so that they are free to make impartial decisions based solely on fact and law. It is therefore an equally grave matter if the president does not have any evidence to support his alarming allegations. And from the look of things, he doesn't have an iota of evidence against the people he has accused of engaging in bribery. Otherwise, he would have handed the lot over to law enforcement and thrown the book at them. He would not have presented himself before the public as a comical contradiction on two unstable stilts, spewing fire and brimstone through his mouth, but flailing his hands helplessly, hanging by the skin of his teeth onto an incoherent and pro-imperialist.
Moving on to other news, the investigation into the murder of Daniel Muthiani, a Meru-based blogger who went by the name Sniper, is ongoing. Muthiani's body was found dumped in a river in Tharaka Nithi County on the 20th of December 2023. The Director of Criminal Investigations, the DCI, has filed an application seeking to detain 5 suspects arrested on the 4th of January in Meru County, with the investigation officials booking them in various police stations in Kiambu and Nairobi County. Muthiani was a vocal critic of the government and corruption. He had written several articles about corruptions in Meru County.
Uchunguzi imefanywa, postmortem ilifanywa, DNA imefanywa na imedhihirisha ya kwamba kijana wetu aliuawa.
So I want to ask the DCI, I want to ask the EACC, I want to ask the homicide team, we shall not embarrass Sniper until such a time justice is served.
Enough is enough. What we need is justice.
On to other news. Outraged by a recent assault on a clinical officer, nurses at Port Victoria Hospital have suspended services, demanding increased security and accountability. They fear a growing trend of unprovoked attacks on healthcare workers across the country, often with perpetrators facing little to no consequences. The Port Victoria nurses' action stems from a shocking incident recently captured on video in Busia County. The footage, now circulating online, reveals a man and a woman mercilessly harassing two nurses at the facility, unleashing a torrent of abusive language.
Verified that the video is authentic, it was taken in the hospital, and the individuals have since been identified, the individuals who perpetrated that incident. And there are a number of things I want to say. Number one, the health workers in this county, be they for the county government, be they for the faith-based organizations or private organizations, they offer a service to the residents of this county. And because they offer a service to the public, they deserve respect and they deserve to be treated with dignity. And our role is to make sure that they are protected and that their rights within the law are also protected. Since that incident, we have investigated. Even as we speak now, there is a team from the health department that has been running the whole day to just make sure we understand every aspect of it. If there was a service failure, we need to understand it. But the most outrageous thing is the reaction and actions of the people you saw in that video. They broke public property, they destroyed public property, they molested a health worker and uttered unprintable things to the people who ideally were supposed to be serving them.
Moving on, in a bid to curb crime in Nyamira County, leaders from various government agencies have agreed to work with the chiefs and other community leaders. The leaders, who met in a meeting on Friday, agreed to establish a joint task force to coordinate security operations in the county. The task force will be led by the county commissioner and will include representatives from the police, the military, the intelligence service, and the chief's council. The task force will be responsible for developing and implementing a comprehensive security plan for the county.
Kuna watu ambayo wanajua pahali unaweka loan zako kwa mtandao, hata kama hujachukua loan wanajua. So by the time wanakutoa kwa nyumba yako, ukifika washatoa loan, sijui ni ya Tala, sijui ni Easy Loan, sijui ni ya Fuliza. Na hicho kimetendeka kwa kila kisanga hapa Burabu.
Visanga imekuwa hapa 6. Tuko na serikali inafanya kazi, lakini hizi visa sote 6 hakuna hata suspect moja asashikwa. Tunajiuliza kwa nini na mbona, na hawa watu wakicha kwa boma, in fact yani wanakaa stare, wanakula mandasi, wanakula kuku, kila kitu wanakula. Tunashindwa hawa watu ni watu wa aina gani?
Walikuwa wanajihami na panga na visu, na walikuwa wamejifunga uso, walikuwa wamevaa barakoa.
And finally, a senior officer in the Vihiga County government has been arrested on suspicion of corruption. The officer, Dr. Noel Malanda, was arrested after being found with a large sum of money in her possession. According to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, that's the EACC, the officer was unable to explain where she got the money from. And that story sums up our news bulletin. We'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.